Welcome back to stage 2 of the Element Knightrunner build. So what you're looking at here are mostly internals. These are a few things that I found could use a little bit of improvement here. So after stage 1, I took it out for several test runs, and the servo was the first glaring item. So I've got a brand new takeoff from a Red Cat Axe edition, the Reefs 422 HD that it ships with. And I've got Hobbywing 1080 ESC to power that and control everything. The Holmes Hobbies Crawlmaster Sport 550 10-turn is going in. Going to replace the little Element, the reedy motor that it ships with. So that ought to be a big improvement there on control, drag brake, downhill, everything. Still going to have to figure out the pinion I want to use with it. Since I've got all new electronics, I decided to go ahead and put in this Flysky FSBS6 receiver to pair with my Flysky GT5 radio, because why not? I've got some warm white LEDs to pop in the bumper here to replace what it ships with. And then over here, what is this guy? This thing is another rooftop tent. So I found that my weight was very close to 60-40 without the rooftop tent. So I rode with and without it, and I decided I was going to look for some kind of alternative. So this is from Club 5. And you can pick from different ones that have different color covers. So that's kind of cool. But the big difference is it's closed cell foam rubber. So it won't absorb water and it's super light. So it ships with bungees and Velcro. And I think I'm going to use just bungees. I've mocked it up and it looks great. Although it's a little bigger, it still looks fine. And it doesn't weigh more, so that's really the big issue. So anyways, that is stage 2, so we're going to dive right in. Back to the update here. Got the motor and transmission pulled out. So a quick look under the hood, if you will. So here's the stock setup. Good amount of grease in there, everything looks nice. So the 3 top gears you see there will not change out. It's the 2 sunken gears that we're going to be swapping in. So it comes out of the box with overdrive at 5.7%, and we're going to be putting in a 26 and a 54 tooth to bring that up to 11.83, I believe. Yes, 5.7 out of the box, and the optional 11.83 is what's getting swapped in. So it should not be too hard. We'll just pull the spool out and 4 bolts on the other side. Swap this in, re-grease it, and reassemble it, and then we'll move on to the motor. Alright, got this new gear screwed on here, and I tell you what, go very slow on these 4 screws. They're super hard to break loose and get out, and they are just as hard to screw in. Very shallow heads. They're 1.5 millimeter, and I ended up using hand tools and going very slow and deliberately and with quite a bit of pressure on the driver, and just kind of worked them around, tightening them down. And at the end I was doing, you know, half turns and then moving to the next one, moving to the next. You want them to fully seat and recess so you don't see them, but you do not want to strip them. So take your time. I mean, it probably took me 10 minutes to screw this gear back on, at least. I mean, your hand starts to hurt. I mean, don't try to use a driver. I started and real quick it was like, nope, that's gonna strip it, even with good driver tips. So now that I've got it ready, got all the grease wiped out, I'm going to replace it with some Utter Butter grease and get this guy reassembled. Alright, just wanted to do a quick shot here showing the weight difference here in this Holmes Hobbies 550 compared to the stock Reedy 540 can, and it's quite a bit longer, so that'll be nice. Bit of added weight down low with that motor. And then I've got here some pinions I forgot I had, so I've got quite a choice here, 13 up to 17. So we may just see how low we can go. And of course I got my transmission back together, so I'm going to get my wires soldered on here and get this motor hooked up. Well, this is the sweet sound of a motor break-in. Not sure if I'm doing this right. It's the first time I've really done this, but Holmes Hobbies website recommended, for these sealed cans, like a 8 or 9 minute break-in period, I think, at a low voltage. So I just turned up the throttle trim a bit and I'm letting it kind of hum here for a few minutes without any load or pinion or anything. So if I'm doing this wrong, let me know, but this is my first time, so we'll see what happens. Alright, a little progress here. Got the skids off, as you can see, in preparation of pulling the servo out. So I guess most people running this stock are just going to have to remove a couple of screws here, and that allows the stock skid to hinge back. And then I removed the drive shaft from the front as well to get that out of the way. And then you can see here, with the drive shaft out of the way, you can get down here to this screw, which I've already unscrewed, and it goes in the closest hole. And then from this underside, you can get to all 4 screws for the servo. So that'll drop right out. So I've already fired up this other one. It works fine, so I'll swap it in, get the horn on, and button this back up. Alright, back to the little update. Got the servo installed, as you can see, and got the motor and ESC put in. And then I got the front lights wired up, so I've got my warm white lights. So everything is cleaned up and routed. So let's get this thing turned on and take a look at this overdrive. I've got the wheels taped here, so we can take a look at that. Let's see. Oh yeah, 11.83. Look at that nice slow crawl. I ended up putting in the 13 tooth pinion. Look at that. Now let's see the servo. Super quick. Let's check out that angle. Really nice steering. Got it adjusted all the way to the bump stops. So moving on here, I guess the next step is the graphics, or the decals, aka decals, as I've heard some people call them recently. Maybe that's a northern thing, I don't know. So anyways, moving right along here. Look at that. That is beautiful. Those are the SOR Graphics stickers. Those are in the matte finish. Super nice. And then it also came with the tailgate Tacoma. So this has officially been converted to a Toyota. And then I cut out a few stickers that came with the Knightrunner. Put those on each side of the bed. And this little I love camping sticker. And then I had a Toyota sticker set that I ordered for my FJ Cruiser. So I got a Trail Team sticker to put on. And I just put on one little SOR graphic. I actually did that first just to see what the decals were like. So that's probably going to get peeled off. That was kind of just a test. And you can see I pulled off the long sticker on the bottom that came on it with all the sponsors. I was going to re-sticker a little more, and then I had kind of an idea about some graphics, some more paint work, so I just kind of stopped and decided I can come back to stickers later if I end up doing that other little graphic bit. And then so you can see the other side here, just awesome. And then I did put on the little Element DeMillo off-road stickers that the Knightrunner came with to brand that bumper. And so what's next? Oh, the rooftop tent, the creme de la creme. So let's dive into that. All right, it is rooftop tent time. So we are back. So let's do a little comparison here from the new to the original. Oh, there's the original. There it is. So you can see there's a height difference here. That width is about the same. The foam one is a little wider. And then we flip it on this axis, and the foam one is quite a bit wider. And you can kind of see the height difference there. So it comes with bungees, and it comes with Velcro pads as well, and 3M. So I'm just going to use the bungee. That's all it takes to hold this guy on. It is very light, but we're about to see how light. So let's weigh up the original. So let's see if it'll settle. And in lieu of waiting all day, we're going to call that 100 grams. Let's check out this one. So the new one on there. Oh, let's get an accurate, a fair and accurate comparison. Let's put the straps on there with it. So we're going to call that, well, 6465, so a savings of about 35 grams with this larger foam tent. So we're going to go ahead and get this mounted on the rack and put that on the truck and do some overall weights and see where we ended up compared to last time. Alright, time for the weigh-in here. So this is going to be with no battery. So the main differences here are going to be the motor weight, I believe. So I want to say without the battery and no tent, last time we were at 2,600 grams. So we've gained about 90 grams. And we were 58.42, so we've dropped 1% and moved to the rear with that from where we were. Let's just double check. So we'll call that 269 and 57.43. We'll flip over to ounces. 94.9 ounces. All right, so let me get the rooftop tent and the rack weight on there. All right, let's get the tent weight. So that's going to bring us up to 2,811 grams, and it drops a few more percent points to the rear, so 55.45. Let's flip that to ounces. 99.1 ounces. Alright, so let's get the battery in and check it for the final weight. Alright, this is the final weigh-in with the battery and the tent. So this is 3,026 grams with a 56.44 ratio. So the battery pushed us 1% to the front. Let's flip over to ounces. 106.8 ounces. And let's just see what it is without the rack and tent and the battery. So nice 60/40 almost without the tent. So 2906. Just one last time. So yeah, that rack and tent over 100 grams. But lighter than what was on there. So 56.44, that's the final. Nice. There we are, the finished product, at least of stage 2 of the build. So one other thing I forgot to mention that I tweaked was, of course I had the tires off, so I went ahead and drilled the foams out on the front with 10 holes, you know, concentrically around the foam, and then I punched the front tires. So I've got 3 vent holes in the tires. So I just did that to the front to soften up the front a little, and in the rear I left unpunched, so they're a little firmer, but just trying to economize right now, and I like the look of these tires and I like the look of these wheels, so I want to give them a good opportunity to see if they can perform before I throw some money at swapping them out. So I think this will conclude stage 2, and now it's time for me to get this out on the trail and see what the performance difference is. Thanks for watching.